Welcome back to the Chiropractic Podcast, and I'm here with Dr. Bill Ormston, affectionately known as Dr. O, and we're glad that you're with us today, Dr. O. Thanks for joining us.
Well, you bet. It's always a pleasure. Anytime you can get together with chiropractors and talk chiropractic, it's always a positive thing.
Ah, very good. I appreciate that. Well, I think first, let's just start with who you are, what you're about, maybe a little bit about your journey to where you are today.
All right. Today, I am a principled veterinarian.
What does that mean?
Well, it means that I am a licensed doctor of veterinary medicine, and I practice according to the 33 chiropractic principles. I cannot adjust people. I have no desire to adjust people. I only adjust animals. My goal is that we should adjust every atlas, every spine on the earth, because then it would be, BJ and Dee both said that if we could adjust all the humans, we would empty the sanitariums and the prisons.
Yeah.
And not only that, but we would increase the food supply. We would have better food, healthier food that we would eat. We adjust chickens, we adjust cattle, we adjust pigs. Most people, when they think of animal chiropractic, they think of dogs and horses. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we do a lot of those too. Mm-hmm. But, when you start adjusting the food that we eat, because the chiropractic adjustment does the same thing to any brain. It alters brain, decreases cortisol, increases the ability for the animal to be organized and fulfill its purpose.
So you are a chiropractic philosophy mindset as a veterinarian, right?
Correct.
Do you do any traditional veterinarian services now? Is it all adjusting of animals?
If we need to do traditional veterinary medicine, I can. Mm-hmm. But I can tell you that we do not do, if you brought your dog to me and you said, I need shots, mm-hmm. I need some antibiotics, I need XYZ, we're not going to do anything traditional until after they receive 3 chiropractic adjustments. Mm-hmm. Now, those 3 chiropractic adjustments might be today.
Okay.
If your dog is crashing, mm-hmm. first thing I'm going to do is adjust him. Mm-hmm. Does he look better? Okay, great. Let's see how long he continues to look better. 10 minutes later, the staff says, the CAs, the my vet techs, whatever you want to call them, say, hey, doc, Shannon's dog is starting to not look so good again. All right, I'm going to go adjust him again. First one lasted 10 minutes. That gives us a baseline. Mm-hmm. All right. Is he looking better? Great. We're on the right track. 20 minutes later, they come back and say, hey, Shannon's dog's not looking so good again. All right. Go adjust him. Is he looking better? Yep. So the first one lasted 10 minutes. The second one held for 20. Is your dog healing? He is, right? Mm-hmm. Because he's able to hold his adjustment longer. Mm-hmm. Now, if that second adjustment was 10 minutes later, or the third adjustment was 10 minutes later, 10, nope, he needs some more help. Let's do something. So now we need some outside help. Okay, to keep the body going until the chiropractic adjustment, because it took the body time to get there, and it's going to take the body time to heal. How long? I don't have a crystal ball. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So as long as each adjustment does its job and the animal's better, I never expect 100%, okay, from one adjustment. I expect, because that would be true, I don't treat symptoms. I remove vertebral subluxations. Mm-hmm. And then the animal fixes himself.
Okay, before we go too far into this, if I'd like for our listeners to be able to reach out to you, right? So how could somebody contact you if they have an interest in this or whatever it may be?
You can go to to see me personally is yeschiro.com.
Yeschiro.com.
Okay.
Okay.
That gets to me. We have, of course, the school is Animal Chiropractic Education Source, where we teach both veterinarians and chiropractors how to adjust animals, because my innate will tell me how to do it isn't specific.
So ACEs, what was it?
Animal Chiropractic Education Source.
Wasn't it All Creatures, Every Spine?
That's the clinic.
That's the clinic. Okay.
It's ACEs.
Double duty.
Double duty on the logo and the acronym.
A model of efficiency over there.
Yes, we try.
Good. All right. Well, excellent. So you're not only in the field working with animals on your own, you're teaching other people how to do this. Who would be a candidate for your program?
Any chiropractic student, any chiropractor that wants to help more of their community, and any we see, basically any chiropractor and any veterinarian too. If we like to teach, the easiest people to teach how to do animal chiropractic is chiropractors that have a good philosophical base.
Okay.
We have a lot of aha moments. We see a lot of aha moments with both veterinarians and chiropractors that don't have a good philosophical base. And we build their confidence. ACEs is a acronym that comes from Top Gun.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to be an ACE, you have to have 5 successes.
Okay.
And so when you come to any program, any session at the ranch, you will adjust a minimum of 5 animals by yourself. You will do all the evaluation and chiropractic assessment. You will determine where the vertebral subluxations are. You will remove the vertebral subluxations, and you will see that you remove the vertebral subluxations, because we do what we call show me animal chiropractic.
Okay.
So, and you'll have done 5 over the weekend. And one of the problems that I see in both human chiropractic education today and animal chiropractic education today is that we have doctors that graduate and have never adjusted enough people or enough animals. We had one lady come to class, and she had graduated 2 years ago. She was the valedictorian of our animal chiropractic class. She got the high score on the national certification exam. And it was after the first lab at the ranch. And she was over in the corner crying. Now, I know it's hard to tell on a podcast, and you and I have only known each other for about 5 or 6 years, right. Shannon, and it's hard to understand this, but I can be a little rough around the edges.
No, not you, Doctor.
And so I thought, okay, well, I don't know why this gal is over here crying in the corner, but I probably ought to see.
You went over and worked your magic.
To see what I did, right?
Right.
And she said, oh, no, it's nothing you did. She goes, that's the first animal I've ever adjusted.
Wow.
2 years after she completed a program. Wow. So she had this tool, this amazing tool in her toolbox, the chiropractic adjustment, the most powerful tool I know about, that she had never used.
So she learned this from another course where they weren't so dedicated to the adjustment and making it hands-on, that kind of thing.
Right. She did a lot of setups.
Gotcha.
Which, everybody does in chiropractic school, no matter what chiropractic, it's animals or people, do a lot of setups, do a ton of setups. But how many times do we see students that lack confidence in their adjustment ability? And the only way to get that confidence is to adjust.
Sure.
And like Sid said, I think it was Sid, or maybe it was Reggie, I don't know which one, said, there's no such thing as a bad adjustment. Mm-hmm. There's just better adjustments. Mm-hmm. And it's just kind of like sex. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we're allowed to talk about that.
Well, okay, we won't go any further.
Maybe as a concept.
Yes, a concept, yeah. So anyway, but yeah, and so you've got to adjust.
So I think your program, your course is the top notch. I think it's the best in the country. I'm biased, of course, but
well, I appreciate that.
I know that you're unbiased about that. Is that hands-on requirement? You're going to adjust 5 and do the assessments and all that. Is that one of many things that makes your course exceptional? What makes you stand out and so good at what you do?
That we're flexible. You plan how fast you go through our program. You can get done in as little as 3 months, or you can take multiple years to do it.
Okay.
Depending, because we know life happens, and so you can plan to, be planning. I'm going to come to, just like this weekend. How many doctors? I'm sure there's a handful of doctors that you thought were going to be here this weekend,
sure, mm-hmm.
in Orlando, and aren't, mm-hmm. because life happened.
Right.
You may even talk to them a month ago,
mm-hmm.
and they were like, "I'll see you in Orlando, doc," and then something happened.
Right.
We understand that happens to people all the time. Mm-hmm. A kid gets sick. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, it's hard to leave home, I mean, you can leave home, but when you get back on Sunday night, what's that, so we understand that those things happen. But after module 1, you will have the confidence to adjust both ends if you take it. Also, we teach some business. Mm-hmm. We have a protocol, a set protocol that you can follow. We have, one of the things when I came to my first AMC meeting, I was looking for some kind of charting mechanism.
Sure.
And I went to one of the beginning classes. I don't know which class that you teach that in, mm-hmm. the chart.
Yeah.
And I saw the chart and I was like, oh, and I took some pictures and went home and revised it. And now we have a beginning, we call it a 12-point safety check, mm-hmm. and a 12-point neurological check. Because would you send your wife's car to get her oil changed if they didn't do the 24-point safety check? Would you go to somebody that didn't do the 24-point safety check? Mm. So that's included every time you come and get show me animal chiropractic from somebody. You get a 12-point neuro check and a 12-point musculoskeletal check.
Did you just admit to stealing our intellectual property?
I altered.
You altered it just enough to avoid any sort of royalty.
It's over 17%. Yes,
you're a smart man. What I think, I'm joking about that, of course, but what I think I really admire about your program is the support afterwards. You talked a little bit about the business side of it. I know that you guys are able to help with marketing, and there's even some check-ins and some coaching that you can offer those students as well.
Mentoring. Sure. Coaching has a kind of a bad connotation lately, so we do a mentoring program.
Sure.
We have a large group mentoring program called Mastermind that meets every first, third, and fifth Monday night of every month. Mm-hmm. Anybody can come, and it is
anybody that's a member, or it's open.
Well, you have to be a member. Okay. But anybody that wants to come and pay,
sure,
you pay by the month, so you can come. And one of the things that we do with that group is we just start. What's your biggest win? So, what was your biggest win this week, Shannon?
Right.
What was your biggest win this week?
My biggest win was a family member who had just broken and had their best month ever in the past 2 years. So,
yeah, cool.
Yeah,
but does anybody celebrate those big wins with you normally? Mm-hmm. And I'm amazed that when the first time people come to a mastermind, And we ask them that. And I don't know if I'm allowed to ask, hey, Hayes, what was your biggest win this week?
We recorded 3 new podcasts.
3 new podcasts. But he had a slight hesitation, didn't he?
Sure.
Because probably nobody's ever asked him what his biggest win is. Mm-hmm. And, a lot of times when we go home with our spouse, we unload. It's not about celebration. Mm-hmm. How'd your day go? Oh, my God, you wouldn't believe this one client was in here and I couldn't get her out the door. And, so you only saw one lady today. Well, no, I saw 32. But that one, oh, my God, you wouldn't believe. No, what about the other 31, right? What's your biggest win? And so that's huge. And then, of course, we go through some problem cases with people. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the younger doctors, their question is always, what am I missing? What am I missing? Why is chiropractic failing this person?
Uh-oh.
Or this animal. And a lot of times, in my experience, it's why is this animal failing chiropractic? Why is this animal no longer able to respond the way we think it should respond to a chiropractic adjustment? And the big thing in there is what we think.
Sure.
Because a lot of times we live in a society that wants a quick fix. Mm-hmm. I want to take 2 Tylenol, my headache could go away now. If I go to the chiropractor, it's going to take at least 3 adjustments. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I have time for that.
Sure.
Especially with this headache I got. Oh, my God. We want the now. Mm-hmm. I didn't come to the animal chiropractor until my dog had such bad proprioception, meaning he couldn't feel his back legs. Not only can't feel his back legs, now he's starting to poop in the house. Mm-hmm. Why is he pooping in the house? Well, because he can't feel his butt either. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't know he needs to go. Mm-hmm. And you want me to fix that immediately? Not going to happen. Will it happen over time? Yes. Might it happen in one adjustment? It might. But that's not the way chiropractic always works.
You've already touched on philosophy a few times. I want to talk a little bit more about that. I want to go in more depth. But I'm curious of the chiropractor who really doesn't have a strong philosophy. Maybe they didn't get any in school.
Okay. We have some of those.
Yeah, we do too. And the vet who has no chiropractic philosophy. Of those 2 professions, who is quicker on the uptake when they're introduced to philosophy, generally?
Unfortunately, the vet.
Why do you think that is?
Because unfortunately, and I haven't been to these schools that don't teach philosophy, mm-hmm. but some of them teach anti-philosophy. And I don't know that that's the correct term.
Sure.
But they've learned that the subluxation doesn't exist. That we don't remove vertebral subluxations because they don't exist. And there's one chiropractic school that doesn't even do chiropractic listings. They remove restrictions, and that's all they do. And it makes you feel better. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know how they pass the boards, but they do. And those people get very adamant when we start talking about subluxations and chiropractic philosophy. I mean, we have some pretty big hitters teaching philosophy in our class. Robert mm-hmm. Leach teaches 4 hours of chiropractic philosophy in our online course, The Science. And he wrote the book, The Science, the Art, and the Philosophy of Chiropractic. Mm-hmm. And it's... So if you've never read that book, if you weren't taught that book, if you weren't taught that way, I have read some of the green books, and we teach out of the green books. In fact, just one of the new books that's coming out that I wrote is called It's a better way, yes, because we have, yes, it's really a thing, animal chiropractic. And now, yes, it's a better thing. And yes, it's a better thing is about a chiropractic lifestyle for dogs. And the second half of that book, almost 300 pages, I call disease. And it's every disease or problem that I could think of in a dog and why you should go to the chiropractor for that issue. And then I read volume 7. After that, it had already been to the editor. And so now we're in the process of writing the same thing for the horses, but the second part of that book will be called Symptomology.
Okay.
Because of volume 7. So yeah. So if you haven't read the Green Book, but what happens to veterinarians when they get it, some of them get mad.
Why do they get mad?
Because they weren't taught this before.
Oh, gotcha.
Why didn't we learn this in vet school? Why didn't we learn this? You know, and so they go through that, what we call the 5 stages of grief. And it's just like, because first they're in denial. And, oh, this cuff doesn't work. In fact, we've actually had veterinarians come that sit there when the first day in class, why are you here? Because everybody has some moving story that brought them to chiropractic, whatever it was. Why are you here? Why are you here? I'm here to prove this stuff don't work. Okay. A year later, 25% of that doctor's practice was animal chiropractic.
Right.
You know? So, and she was a board certified surgeon. So, yeah. You don't have to believe in chiropractic for it to work.
That's true. That's true. So that was my next follow-up is I've seen your before and after videos of animals pre-adjustment, post-adjustment. I've seen those effects. I've seen the functionality and the life come back, right? And anybody who's listening, if you ever get a chance to be in a Dr. O class where he's going to do those videos, I think you will be absolutely astonished and amazed at how incredible those transformations are. So here's my question about that. You got the people who have never been introduced to philosophy, and then people who have been introduced to anti-philosophy, as you said it. How do those people react when they see those before and after videos or see it for themselves? Like, what's that moment like for them? Do many of them just not accept it, or what?
Well, and it used to be yes. Well, you can do that, Dr. O, but you're Dr. O.
Right.
But in class, remember how many animals do you adjust
5.
every weekend? You're going to adjust 5. Who's going to adjust those animals? The anti-philosophers? The people that have never had any philosophy? And when they adjust their first dog, because dogs are first, because, you know, you adjust your first dog and you have a restriction in motion, an altered gait, whatever, and you make a little precise adjustment, because it doesn't take a lot of force.
Sure.
You know, I mean, and you do that, and the dog shakes. The dog's eyes brighten up. It's very, very difficult to disagree. So, yes, you can watch the videos and say, well, okay, but that's you, Dr. O. You can do that. But
Right. You've got the magic hands, right?
But I don't think I can do that.
Sure.
But that's not it. If you understand your why, so if you're a chiropractor out there listening and you don't think you have the magic hands, it's because you don't know why you're adjusting. And as soon as you understand why why are you adjusting? Why are you putting that thrust into that joint at this time? Why are you doing that? Well, I'm doing it so that Hayes won't have a limp anymore.
Right.
Well, guess what? Probably going to be disappointed.
Sure.
I'm doing it because I want to remove interference from Hayes' nervous system so that the body can communicate above, down, inside out. I know that I'm going to improve his immune system. I know that I'm going to help every physiological function in his body get better. And if I understand that, and that's my goal, I will always be successful.
Okay, one more thing on, well, I'm not going to say one more thing because you never know where this is going to go. You are, you've got salt and pepper in your hair just like I do. We've lived a few years on this earth. You've seen differences in the chiropractic profession, but you've seen it from a different perspective as, no offense, an outsider.
Right. I know I'm an outsider.
Another profession looking into. What concerns you about those few years, those decades, with where you see things headed? Are there any concerns? Like, what did you see that you wished we still had from decades ago? Like, rise above it and give us the 30,000 foot view.
My 30,000 foot view is get over yourself.
Well, that wasn't very nice.
That's my view. You wanted it.
All right, explain it.
Explain. Every profession in the United States has a monopoly. It's not just the chiropractic with the FCLB and the testing and all that. Every profession has it. The lawyers, legal boards, they have a monopoly. MDs have a monopoly. DOs have a monopoly. DDSs. It's all a monopoly, period. All right, great. But what you do with your degree once you get out is what determines how successful that practice will be. Okay? What I wish for the chiropractic profession is that we would, chiropractors are graduating without enough success, without enough adjusting. Okay, fine. How are we going to get them more adjustments? Open your clinic up. Allow 3 or 4 people to come in and adjust. Help them determine where to adjust. When they get to a certain point, let them adjust. You have patients that, would do it. We do. We have people, all our patients that get adjusted in class are given the chance. You can pay for the adjustment, and I will deliver the adjustment, or you can let students do it. They're allowed to make that choice the day they come to class. Mm-hmm. I've adjusted 2 dogs that have come to class that the people didn't feel confident enough to let this, and that's because they didn't truly understand what chiropractic was. So I had not done my job ahead of time, but anyway, so then those are twice since 2013 have students watched me adjust an animal in lab. Most of the time, they get to do the adjustment. All right, great. Now, the people know they're being supervised by me. Sure. I'm watching them adjust, so they know their animal's not going to get hurt. They all know that they can come in on Tuesday for a free adjustment if there's a problem and the student adjusted. I've never adjusted a dog on Tuesday for free. So, and we've been doing this, we do it twice a month, and we've been doing it since 2012. So, a lot of years, a lot of animal adjustments, but only 2 that have chosen not to allow students to adjust. And so we need to do that. The other thing is right now, I don't know how many of your people know, but I hope that the chiropractors at least know who Morris Fishbein was.
If they don't, who is it?
He was the AMA's mouthpiece, and he bashed chiropractic. He had over 200 publications back in the early 30s, and chiropractic was quackery. And it just went bad and kept going anti, and all the way up to 60, 68, 69, I think. When it finally, the Supreme Court said, hey, you guys got to quit that. All right, great. With, Daniel, I think is his name, yesterday in class, was talking about ChatGPT and how many people are afraid of ChatGPT. And a lot of chiropractors raise their hands. ChatGPT gives us the opportunity to undo everything Fishbein did, because ChatGPT does nothing about chiropractic. And every time you do a chiropractic blog about chiropractic using ChatGPT, yes, you could write it yourself. Number one, it'd take a while. But number two, when you use ChatGPT to do that blog, and then you edit it and tell ChatGPT, no, you're not quite right there. Let's say it this way. You are educating ChatGPT. So now he was talking about, all right, finding the best. If your SEO is good enough and somebody in your community types in, who's the best chiropractor to go to for a headache? Okay? No. I want SEO to say, when you type in, my dog's limping, who should I go see? Go see Dr. O. He's an animal chiropractor. Animal chiropractic is awesome at removing those symptoms in a dog. So when somebody in your community types in, I have a headache, what should I take? A chiropractic adjustment.
Right.
We have that opportunity, but we can't do it. That's not going to happen through the schools. That's not going to happen through the FCLB. It's not going to happen through even AMC can't do it.
Sure.
Every chiropractor has to do it. You know, one of the things Daniel, he said was McDonald's is using everything. So if I said, Shannon, let's go have a hamburger. Not that we're going to go have McDonald's hamburgers, but what's the first hamburger that comes to your mind, Hayes? Burger King. All right. Same difference. Yeah. Why? Yeah. Because they're using all the media.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing it, I talk to a lot of chiropractors that don't advertise. Mm-hmm. I don't need it. I'm happy where I'm at. Mm. But is your community happy with you?
Or healthy?
With you. Mm-hmm. And that's where I see we need to change. But it can't come, it's got to come from the bottom up. It can't come from the top down.
It's grassroots.
Yep.
Okay. Excellent, as always. I think we've done this before, so I appreciate your time. Let everybody know how they can get in contact with you again, if you don't mind.
Yes. YesChiro.com. Animal Chiropractic Education .com. Animal Chiropractic Education.com, but it's Animal Chiropractic Education Source is the name of the company. And currently, right now, if you've ever thought about becoming an animal chiropractor, we are changing our online format. We need some beta testers, and we have 45% off.
Nice. That's a substantial savings, yeah.
Yes. So help us find the bugs. They won't be many. The content is the same. It's just a different delivery format, which is supposed to be easier. Yes. Getting there is taking some time, and we need some people to help us find the kinks. So we're offering 45% off.
How long is that good for?
10 seats.
10 seats, okay.
And we only have 5 left.
Okay.
So
need to move quickly.
Act now.
Got it. Thanks again, Dr. O. I really do appreciate it.
You bet.
Hope you'll join us again in the future.
Anytime I'm invited, I will be here.
Thank you, sir.
All right.